Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I'd first like to say that I will be supporting this motion before us. I do think this is very much a step in the right direction. For me, really what this debate boils down to is a modernization and a more clean and green, effective system that I think will save taxpayers money and will be more effective in the long term. There are 6 main points that I'm going to cover briefly on it. The first element that I think makes sense is in terms of the clean and green aspects of it. Number one, in terms of the clean. We prided ourselves here in council, this council, over the last 2-3 years of being a clean and green city. And I think this is very much a step in the right direction. When speaking with constituents, and I have got a lot of calls on this, I've probably had about 30 calls and emails from constituents. I think most people, when you do explain it to them, they very much are supportive of it. One fellow that I was having coffee with just a week ago or so, he had asked me the question, is this the same system they'd be using in Saskatchewan and other areas such as this? I said, yeah. He said, you know, one element that hasn't come out in the media so far is in terms of the aesthetics of it, how much better it's going to look. Instead of, you know, you're looking at your neighbors in terms of, endless amounts of garbage that are there, it makes sense from an aesthetic point of view. And I very much think that is the case. Another element that I very much like is in terms of it's going to be a more efficient and effective system that I think will save money in the long term. The new system is more efficient, most definitely than the other ones. There's going to be less staffing that's involved in this. Instead of having 3 people that'll be hauling the garbage, you'll have the 1. You're going to have less injuries, to do this. And I think also the system is going to be a lot quicker once, sure there'll be some the kinks right off the bat, but overall it's going to be more efficient and more effective. So I do very much like this. You know, I won't be as go into my tractor story like my good friend Councillor Steves, but I can tell you the technology is there. It is there, right? And it does make sense from a variety of things. I think we really do need to embrace change when it does come forward. You know, we could look at examples, and I don't mean to dumb this down to the horse and buggy versus the car, and the home computer versus other things. But this is a technology that has come up, that it's a modernization really of the garbage system that's there. And I think we really need to embrace change that is there. I think it very much is a step in the right direction. And I encourage all of you to do it. I think it's going to really make our city a great city in terms of a variety of things. Also, the size of the carts, I've got a number of other concerns. Initially, when we had this discussion in kind of our background meetings beforehand, I wanted the larger cart. You know, I was pretty upfront about that. I look at my own personal experiences. You know, I've got 2 kids. I've got a wife. We use, probably 3-4 garbage bags a week. We use a lot of recycling as well, but I want to ensure that was there. I did get assurance from our administration that we are obviously going with the 240 that's there, but if someone does want the larger cart, or if they want the smaller cart, we can make those arrangements, and that was important to me. Because, like I say, the reality is the garbage is the garbage is the garbage. You're going to use the same amount, in my opinion, and I want to make sure that there isn't these concerns that are for people. Another element that I very much support is, or I want to take a look at, is what other cities are doing. This isn't a social experiment that we're trying here. This has been used in a variety of other cities. If you look just in Western Canada, the only 3 cities that aren't using this system right now are Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Victoria. And my understanding is Victoria is taking a look at this as well. So this has worked well in other cities. It's done in the United States, throughout Canada. It's a modernization of the garbage system. And this is something that I think we're behind the times, not opposed to it. And I think we should look at this for recycling. I'll be very happy to see something like that come forward. So once again, it's not a social experiment. It's worked well in other cities. Let's try it here. The other process that I want to talk about is the tendering. I've heard some councillors talk about tendering the process and how the company, the company that's going to win the award is, will have some sort of monopoly in terms of the garbage process. Well, the reality is we've got a tendering process, and the tendering process says, it gives you a criteria. You need to hit a service level, but you got to go with the lowest bidder. Why would we mess around, monkey around with a tendering process? We need to go with the most effective one. That's going to be the least in terms of expense for our taxpayers. And I'll tell you what, I think probably the same people that are making these allegations or saying that we should have chose one of the other contractors as opposed to the one that went out will be the same people that would be crying foul if all of a sudden we took the one that wasn't the least amount of money for the taxpayers. So I don't think those arguments are relevant. I think you put out a tender, you look for the best service, you look for the least amount of money to taxpayers, and that's the one you go with. If one of the companies seems to be effective in terms of getting the least amount of service that's there, you know who the winner is? The taxpayers. That's who the winner is. So in conclusion, I very much support this. I think it is a step in the right direction. I think that it probably could have been communicated a little bit better. And as we move forward with other systems, I look forward to that communications. But I think it's going to be a cleaner, a greener, more efficient system, and it's a modernization that I'm proud to embrace. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thanks, Councillor Fielding. Councillor Gerbasi.
Thank